Hello, tea family. How are you all today? I know you've got some, you can see some reflection in the background, but you're not going to be focused on me most of today. Most of the time, you're going to be actually looking down. So while I can see you face to face, so to speak, let me say welcome. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, please say hello, share what you're enjoying as a beverage today in the chat or comments, depending on the platform you're viewing. If you have any questions at any time, and this session's gonna be very interactive because you're gonna be helping me build a tea. We're gonna create one together. And so I will need you to use the comments or chat to put your input in. And I do have a handy dandy assistant that will be helping me as we get through this. However, we're gonna get started, and I just wanted to say hello. We have a wide variety of ingredients that we can choose from. And so before I forget, let me say this Thursday, we will be having our live session, the 30th. And so I look forward to seeing you all there. More about that at the end. We're going to go ahead and get started right away because we have lots of stuff that we will be creating tonight. And so you'll have to forgive me as you see me reach down, and I'll try not to show you my keyboard because that's not very exciting. All right, as you can see, we are ready to get started. And in fact, we're ready to get started with, there we go, our jasmine green tea. Now, you all chose green tea last time that you wanted to use as our base, so that helps a lot. As you can see, there's our jasmine green tea. Very light, very aromatic. Did you know jasmine green tea is a tea that's been enjoyed for centuries? It is typically green teas that have been infused with the delicate aroma of jasmine blossoms. It is delicious. Google says it has lots of antioxidants, and so that it should be, as well as delightful on your tea taste buds, it will be good for you in some ways too. So this is a green tea that is going to be a little bit, it's going to be light. It has a sweet, slightly floral, but more sweet aroma as I sniff it. And so we're going to need to keep that in mind when we're picking complementary or contrasting flavors today. Now, quick poll. I see, let's see, Stephanie's got the last for lavender lemonade. I'm hoping that tasted well. Handy dandy assistant's is drinking coffee.
No, Diane is.
Diane is drinking coffee. I see. Okay. Sorry. Okay. We're going to get started. I have the first thing for you all to answer right now, and that is
Plaid.
Not going to be a good answer for this question. Sorry, handy dandy assistant. What is your favorite tea ingredient other than the tea itself? So, fruit, spices, a touch of something floral, something completely different. What is your favorite tea ingredient other than the tea itself? I'll give you a couple of minutes or a minute or so to answer that. Now, as you can see, we've got a wide variety of things. This is all you can see here. There's actually way more over here and in other places. So we will.
Stephanie said her lemonade tea, lavender lemonade was amazing.
I'm glad the lavender lemonade was amazing. Vanilla or cinnamon, those are really great and popular flavors. I actually have both of them down here. We have cinnamon here and vanilla's right here. Let me introduce you. Thank you, Amber. Let's see. Stephanie says florals, rose, then lavender, then stone fruits. Got it. Diane is more on the fruit side of things. That's awesome. Love seeing that kind of stuff. Okay, so we don't need this teacup right away. This is for our second thing. Let me talk about what we have for ingredients laid out. Now, if you have something else that I don't mention, that's okay. I just want you to be able to try to get this right so you guys can see everything.
Let us know. All right.
let us know, put it in there, and we may have it, and we just didn't think to bring it out. But I have blue cornflower, rose petals. We have butterfly pea flowers. We have chamomile, lavender, hibiscus. And that's kind of where we have well, and then we also have jasmine petals. Flowers. Excuse me. All right, then we're going to move into some of the spices that we have. I have cinnamon. I have orange zest. We also have some lemon zest. We have ginger. We had red raspberry leaves. We have star anise, and we have vanilla.
We also have cardamom.
We also, and then off camera, I have cloves and cardamom. Okay, and then for fruits, we have strawberry, apple, peach, and pear. So we have quite a variety here and different things for everybody to think about. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create this tea together today. So where do we want to start? Now, the jasmine green tea, we can go to the spicier side and do contrasting. We can stay in kind of the sweet and floral areas, be a little bit more complementary. We're going to want to have our primary is right here. We're going to have, what's the second biggest flavor that we want to have in our tea? So go ahead and put it in the comments. What do you think we should add next? And we will kind of get going. There we go. We're in grams. Okay, everybody. Think about it. I put a bunch of different things out there. Probably overwhelmed you a little bit. Peach or pear. Okay. We do also have cranberries downstairs. I didn't think to. All right, we give a vote for some fruit, some either peach or some pear. And then Amber's vanilla or pear. Other thoughts? Other thoughts? All right, well, you both said pear. So I guess the second flavor will be pear. All right, so now we have the sweet floral notes of our jasmine green tea, and we have peach. What do we want? We can add a third one that is going to be added. So we have a vanilla and a jasmine. All right, so let's see, we've got green tea with some floral. We've got some peach in. I would say vanilla might not be a bad idea. All right, now we have very complementary flavors so far. What I'm going to say is we can add some jasmine. That would be fine. Now, we can add one more ingredient. What I'm going to suggest is that you think of an ingredient that's going to have just a touch of contrast to it. This is where typically I might go with like a lemongrass, which we didn't have out, or like the cinnamon or a zest or different things like that. And I'm not giving you ideas for this particular tea, but I'm trying to give you want something that's going to be kind of a little bit more of a contrasting flavor. It's going to add a complexity to our tea. And so as I write all this down, and yes, Stephanie, that is a pink paper notepad. I found a multi-pack that has a bunch of colors in it. So take note, there's something pink in my house. But we can add the jasmine. What would we like for our final flavor to kind of contrast? Stephanie likes the zest idea. Let me think. Caramel. Yep. Caramel is something you could add to it. Let's see. Lavender.
Lavender's strong.
Lavender's really strong.
It may work.
The blue cornflower or the butterfly pea flower are going to both be pretty really delicate scents. They might get lost in there. But let's see, we've had a vote for the blue flowers. We've had a vote for the lavender.
The butterfly pea may will turn it purple anyhow.
The lavender, the butterfly pea flower might turn the color a different color. So we also have lavender or blue flower.
Handy dandy assistant. That's Amber.
Amber actually came up with caramel. It wasn't the handy dandy assistant on this one. Now, caramel might be good, but it's going to add another sweetness. We need something to balance some of the fruity sweetness that we already have, because these are all fairly on the sweet side. So that's why I'm thinking we might want to add a spice. I think I know what I would choose, but I'm going strawberry. Peaches and strawberries go together very well. If we add yeah, I think I know what I would go with. All right, everybody, what are you thinking? Something that's going to have a slight bit of bite to it, but not necessarily be over the top. So, and let's move some stuff off our board. All right, how about this? How about I help you narrow it down just a little bit? I wouldn't go with lavender. It's going to probably be a little bit too much. Cinnamon would work. You could add a zest.
Dan wants to know what the spices are.
Okay. Spices that we have available. We have cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, orange and lemon zest, star anise, and we would also have, I'm trying to think, I think that's what we have out today. So based on that, we've got a vote for cinnamon. What else would we think? So the reason why a lot of times you'll see 3 or 4 ingredients is because you'll have some complementary, but this is where you're going to want to add some of that. So we've got 1 for nutmeg and we've got 1 for ginger. Okay. And then I've got another cinnamon or nutmeg. Okay. So now I'm going to have to create another tea after this is done, because I keep coming back to the star anise. It has like a hint of a licorice note to it, and but also it's kind of the spices and the cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom end of it. I'm going to now have to try this one later for sure. But all right, so cinnamon or ginger? Which one? We've got 2 votes for each. So again, we've got our jasmine green tea, very light, sweet floral notes. We have vanilla, which will add some smoothness and some depth of flavor. We have some more jasmine flowers, and we have peach. And then we also weren't sure if we were going to add in a little bit more strawberry. So if we're going to do that, do we want to go with the ginger or do we want to go with cinnamon? The little thing is all we're trying to do is add a little bit of a contrasting flavor, add some depth to it, and so that it's not sweet on sweet on sweet. It's actually got a little bit of spice to kind of stand up against it. All right, Amber, you're the deciding factor. We have 1 ginger and 1 cinnamon. Okay, so we have jasmine green, we have peach, a little of both. All right, we can definitely try it. Jasmine flowers. Okay, vanilla. I'm going to move the strawberry away. That'll be a little bit too much. And then cinnamon and ginger.
It was pear, not peach.
Sorry, it was pear. Thank you. I had the right one. Okay. So when we do a tea and when we send everything out to tasters and everything, I'm going to look up at you for a second, adjust my camera again. When we do this, the next step is to weigh our ingredients. Ideally, we want to weigh our ingredients so that our sample, as we're doing it, ends up being 2.5 grams, which is typically the amount for a 6 to 8 ounces of water for 1 cup of tea. So that's typically what we would do. Now, what we want to do is we want the biggest flavor to be there first, and we definitely want to make sure we have our, I'm going to put you off for a second. We have everything set. So that was fun. You just gotta love it. These can't get used again. Thanks. All right. What I was trying to do is we'll bring this over. Typically, we do not chop up our fruit once it's been freeze dried until right before we're going to use it. Now, this is not the knife that we typically use, but that's okay. All right. So we will probably want to have about 1 ounce of our jasmine, or 1 gram of our jasmine. Okay. Now, do you want me to do even for everything else? Or do you want me to do more of one flavor? It's already started to hydrate. So what do you think? Do we want to do like kind of equal amounts of each of the rest of them? Or do you think we want to do more of one in particular? More pear, more fruit than spice. Okay. So what I will say is I will probably go with a little less of this. We'll go with 1 gram. We'll move our jasmine down to 8 grams. And we will move the peach or pear, excuse me, the pear up to 1. All right, so there's our 1. I need 1 more dish to put this in. Okay.
You have the metals of it too.
Am I gonna hit a tear? Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. I can do that. All right, so there's our pear. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add there we go. Our jasmine green. Okay, now we have 4 ingredients left. Which one do we want more of next? We have gingers. A ginger, I think, should be really little. I think we should only do about like 1 or 2/10 of a gram. just because that's a really strong one. Yeah, that's, you saw how little I put in there, and that was already at 2 grams. All righty. So more vanilla. So a little more than vanilla than the others. Okay, so there's our ginger, vanilla. Let's see, 1.8. Probably a 0.2. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. So then what we will do is we will take our vanilla and we will add 0.2 of a gram of that one. And this is literally what we do. We just kind of play around with kind of chemistry and like, hey, what do we think? Start kind of in these places. Think about what you want your first flavor to be. Think about what you want your second flavor to be. Now, vanilla is super strong, so we're going to want to have less of that. Ginger, very strong, so we're going to want to have a little less of that. Okay. Then we have, let's see, there's 2. Let's do 1.1 grams of these. I just added some jasmine flowers. All right. And then we'll finish it off with cinnamon. Yep, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of vanilla, and then we'll finish it off with cinnamon, 0.2 of a gram, I think. So much fun. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, here we're going to mix it up really gently. And that is what our tea is going to look like. All right. So let's move some of these out of the way. And I have my cup here. I put my 2.5 grams in there. My handy dandy assistant has already heated the water. It's a green tea, so it's 175 to 180. And we're going to brew it for 2 minutes. And why do we brew it for 2 minutes? Well, we have freeze-dried pear in here, so we want to brew it for 2 minutes. And then we will take that out. Does this have something to go into? Oh, yeah, I can put it in this. Meanwhile, I'm going to clear up and pile up some stuff over here because we have something else that we're going to do on top of this. Now, like always, if you want to know what this tastes like, just let me know and I will send you a sample or bring you one. And this is the cool part about this is I can now flip it up. So
we could freeze dry it and send it.
We don't need to freeze dry it and send it. We could just send it or give it.
Well, I mean, make
or
it
whatever.
Freeze dry it,
and then y'all can try your experiment just like last time. Now, I do have another. Well, this one is, I'll leave it there so you can see. Well, this one is going, I have another teacup here. Okay. Awesome. We are now going to go to the second part of what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'm going to flip this up for a second so I can just see you a little bit. And that is we're going to make a teacup charcuterie. So you can have your cup of tea and then have in another pretty teacup a little snack, whether you do it for a tea party or you just want to sit down and have a snack and a cup of tea while you read a good book or listen to some music. We have you covered there. We are going to, so you can see I've got some stuff all ready to go in it. Now, we are at 16 seconds, so we don't want to start too much. There we go. before we go. But we're gonna make this in just a second. And I'm gonna get the camera back down. I've stacked everything else up. All right, now take this out. You can brew that 3 times. And then you can see, move my light a little bit. Oh, there. You can see it's kind of got a little bit of a peachy color to it. I can definitely smell vanilla and ginger.
It's almost like a toasted flavor.
That's really nice. It's a really nice, gentle flavor is how I would describe it. I'm going to put it right there. You can see the color really well. Okay, so here we are. We're going to put this teacup right here. The first thing, whatever you like in your charcuterie, I mean, please feel free to do it. This is going to be a little more complicated for me because I'm doing it backwards. Now, one of the tricks that I would say is put grapes or something like that in first, because then you can place things on them and it kind of holds your crackers in place and different things like that. Now, can you go get me a snowman, please?
Yes.
All right. Next thing I want to do is I have one of these cute little cocktail sticks. I'm going to use that. I used it because it's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to put a blackberry. Thank you. And maybe, let's see. I could put a grape. I can put a nice pretty strawberry. And then maybe finish it off with the blueberry on the end. And I've got a nice little fruit stick to go right here. I have some, for me, I chose cheddar because I figured the color would be really pretty. And then using this little snowman stick, I did something like this. Let's see, we'll put a tomato on. And then we'll put some fresh mozzarella. Freshly made mozzarella, and then you could put some basil down there, or you could put another tomato, but we'll kind of tuck this right back here. And then just give them a little blueberry hat. Little sweet with the spicy. Now, for the part that I actually love to do, I have turkey pepperoni. For those of you that know me know that regular pepperoni would not be a good idea for me. But what you can do is you can take like salami and then you would fold it in half like this and then roll them up. But what we are going to do is these are already pretty small. So we're just kind of layering them out like this. And I'm putting each one about halfway on top. I did practice this earlier, and then the handy dandy assistant had to make the sacrifice of trying it, making sure the flavors all worked really well.
Right.
Okay, now you want to roll this really tightly, and it's going to start to come across or come apart in the back. Just keep rolling. Just keep tucking it in. Just keep rolling. And you create this really pretty, in my case, turkey pepperoni rose. And then when you put it in, you can make super, and it's just not going to stay for me. But like you have a nice little rose, you have some fruit, you have some crackers, you have some cheese. And we'll just tuck this in on this side. The grapes actually help. You can push stuff in there. And look at that. All set and ready for you to enjoy. Really pretty. And you can put whatever you want. If you like olives on your, there we go. If you like olives and some savory bites and different things like that. You can make whatever you would put pickles on your charcuterie board. Absolutely, you could go ahead and do that. Not a problem. I like to go with like cheese and crackers. I like some fruits and different things like that. So that's kind of what I went with here. But I love the turkey pepperoni or salami in here, making that little rose. It just makes it super fun to put with your cup of tea. Now I have 2 different teacups here. You could use 2 of the same teacups. You know, if you have 2 teacups, you can make one your charcuterie holder and one for your tea. The other thing that I would say you could do, and I'm going to point this down in just a second again so you can kind of see the effect, but you could have a little tea party with a friend or 2. And if you have 2 of each cup, you know, you could have each person has their personal, they have 2 of these. So one's their charcuterie, or everybody could have their tea in one kind of china and their charcuterie in another. It's just a really fun way to have a snack. Now I did pick these flavors. I get the peach. Peach. Sorry. I'm like with the pepperoni, my mouth is a little off for flavors. Now I picked these flavors specifically knowing that we were going to be going with a jasmine green tea. And the reason for that is flowers and the sweetness of the fruit and the berries. You have a little bit of a punch or a spice with your pepperoni or your salami or beef of whatever sort. The softness and the silkiness of the fresh mozzarella with the tomato. You could add the basil for like that hint of herbal. It's going to pair really well food-wise. And it's super fun. Fruit is always a good thing with tea, but this kind of gives you a little bit of protein, a little bit of fruit. It also gives you a little bit of dairy, but you didn't have to put cheese in here if you don't want to. So that is what we did today. Now, keeping in mind, that's when we're creating teas. You want to think about fruity notes. You know, do we want floral addition? What's your first flavor? And then you want to have something kind of that has that zing, whether from the spices or whatnot, if you're having a tea that's a little more fruity and flowery. So there we go. And it's really nice. I think you all will enjoy it. Now, anybody have any questions for me? Oh, the handy candy. Do you see that hand that keeps reaching out because he wants some? All right, everybody. As I try and get everything, the camera angle is all off because I had to keep adjusting it tonight. So there we are. There is our tea charcuterie, and I've lost the tea because somebody stole it. Isn't that what typically happens?
That's nice.
It is nice. It's a light, delicate tea. The ginger and the cinnamon just add a nice complex flavor to it. It doesn't overpower it though. You can still taste the pear. You can still taste the jasmine green tea. I am still interested to see what the star anise would add for flavor, so I'm going to have to try that at some point. But I do want to remind everybody, Thursday, we will be doing a live sale. It is going to only be about a half hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to have some things out there. On the note of our next herbal tea, I will share with you that I had sent it out to some testers. I got some feedback, and then I came up with a second batch. And we tried the second batch this morning, and we are not sure which one we like better. We think that A had a little bit more of a complex flavor. B was a little less contrasting. I just lost my blueberry. It went flying. Did you all see that? Did you see the blueberry go flying? There, it's not where I'm going to step. That's the biggest thing. So
Cacao.
Yeah, cacao would have been a really good choice, Stephanie. That would have been a really interesting flavor. Oh my. He got it. The handy dandy assistant got that blueberry. He ate it, so it can't be out of control anymore. But that's what we're doing. We will be debuting that. We also will have some other flavors that are not available. Like we talked about, breakfast rose will be one of them that is not available other than in our Advent tins or in some of our other tins. And I know there will be a specialty Valentine sampler that will be available. It will not be the same as the one that goes out to everybody else. And so we have a couple of other surprises. Feel free to share the event with everybody. I haven't been doing a lot of posting. I will be starting to do more now that my life has settled this much. And so that's coming up next week. What are we doing next week? We're talking about something.
Tea.
We will be talking about tea. That is a safe choice. On yes. So we will be talking about our jade chai. We'll be talking about jade chai and how we balance that versus how we balance our onyx chai and our rooibos or ruby chai. So we're going to be talking chai next week, a lot about it and how we balance the flavors and why the chai blends are different for each one with a specialty on the jade. So any other questions you want to shoot at me? Any other pairings or anything like this? I know I saw a couple of you that said you wanted to try this that we created today, and I will get that to you. If not, feel free to reach out and I will get it to you. We used jasmine green tea, pear, jasmine flowers, vanilla, cinnamon, and ginger today. I see Stephanie's very excited about next week and chai. So
Try them.
All right. Well, if you have no other questions, I'm going to leave you to go and make your own little tea charcuterie snack and enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. All right, Diane, I got you. I will be putting that in the mail. All right, everybody, have a great week.
Bye.